Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hello, everyone. Take two.
With our tiny little voices per the screen.
Yes,
I don't understand what's that. Oh, that speaker's still on. Are we going to get feedback? Chris will kill us. It'll be the death of us. His job as executive producer very seriously.
He's really into microphones.
The only serious person.
You all may not know this, but when we're gonna start doing this podcast, I sent Chris like a link. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this microphone off Amazon? He's like, no. What is that junk? Anywho, I'm Whitney.
He's like, why don't we all just go to Costco? Oh, I'm Amy.
We are on the hunt.
Listen, it has been a week.
Yes.
It has been.
Last week of school.
So much happening. I just can't even.
Yep.
I do want to, while we're on here, give a shout out to my grandma. Eloise, who does listen from time to time.
And who has had paranormal experiences.
Yes, multiple. And is a downright badass. I went to see her in the hospital yesterday. She has a scar. I'm not kidding. That's it's still staples, obviously. She just had surgery Tuesday. That starts here on her left side, goes all the way up to her breastbone.
Oh.
And it's like a big upside down U.
Why?
And then goes to the other side. She had an entire kidney removed.
Oh.
And she had, I guess hip.
Aren't they back here?
I don't know. I don't understand.
What about anatomy?
There were some complications during the surgery, and she had to get blood transfusions, and it was just...
So keep Eloise in your thoughts and prayers.
But she's feisty as ever. We went in there yesterday. She's like, no one has got my hairbrush. Look at my hair. I'm like, Grandma.
No one cares.
Least of your worries, babe.
You do always feel so nasty when you're in the hospital, though. You know? Yeah. You're like, oh, I just need a shower.
She's so cute. She was just like so excited because you get to order your meals.
That is
she's
exciting.
treating it like a restaurant.
That is
exciting. I asked her if
exciting.
she wanted Sprite or Coke. She's like, listen.
I'm
treating this one kidney well. Give me a Sprite. I will not be taking a dark soda. Thank you.
Sprite probably has more sugar than Coke does. Sprite is a delicious soft drink.
Yeah, anything fizzy. I love it.
Yes. So, yeah.
Okay, not why you're here, but we appreciate our listeners, and we give you all shout outs, especially when you're my beloved grandma.
Yes. Yeah. It's been just a crappy week. There was another school shooting in the United States.
It's upsetting, and
yeah,
we won't even go. You all know where we stand.
You do.
There's no need to reiterate it, but America, we have to do better.
Yeah.
This is just so disheartening and disgusting and unnecessary.
Yeah.
So, okay. That's it. That's all we're going to say about it. Moving on.
Okay, I have a news article to share with you, Amy.
All right. I'm excited.
Well, this is all over the news, but the article I just happened to pull up is on masslive.com. Maybe it's Massachusetts.
Okay, I'm like Catholic Mass?
Or like Mass as in like wait?
Or dark Mass? No, that's dark matter.
I was like,
I don't know.
Dark Mass. It's like when the Catholics do dark Mass. Ooh. Okay, so the article is titled, Rhode Island's Conjuring House Sold. New owner has moved in, but is not allowed to live there year-round because the energy is too powerful. Have you heard about this?
No.
Okay.
Not allowed per who?
Per the seller. It's like,
how can you?
It's in their contract.
Isn't that a really weird contingency?
I mean, it's really weird.
Okay.
Think you could spend a whole year in a haunted house? Even if so, you won't be able to. That's the only rule the Heisen family had for whoever buys their property. The family, who are paranormal investigators from Maine, bought the iconic haunted Rhode Island farmhouse where evil happenings inspired the 2013 movie The Conjuring back in 2019. With the intention of opening it for visits. So they bought it in 2019 because they wanted to do tours.
Okay.
Moneymaker.
Yeah.
Legend has it the home is haunted by the presence of Bathsheba.
Yeah, it is.
Sherman. If you have, do they have that episode?
Yeah, we've released every old episode now.
Okay.
So we are kind of screwed in terms of...
Well, I can't remember if that
backups.
was episode 0.
No.
Which was
it's
like...
episode 1.
Okay, because we had an episode 0, you all, that was like off the rails, like in the ocean.
Did we ever
No.
redo those topics?
Yes.
Oh,
we did.
okay.
Yeah. But this reminds me of Bathsheba trifling. She's like in the corner being creepy.
Yes, with her mole rats crawling out of her pockets of her face.
And just wanting the husband of the household.
Mr.
What was his?
Perone.
Perone, yep. Okay,
Roger, I believe. Roger. I can't roll my tongue.
Roger. To this day, countless happenings have been reported. A Boston developer with a deep belief in the paranormal was the official buyer of the house. I came to visit and thought, I have to have this house. I must have this house. The woman has been interested in the paranormal. She says, I am a deeply spiritual person. It's a very important part of me. I believe we are conscious beings. Okay, I don't really care what she says. That woman paid $1.525 million for that house.
That's
it's
a
tiny.
lot.
Isn't it tiny? Which is 27% higher than the asking price. It's a seller's market, y'all.
It really is.
Why are you buying a house right now?
Yeah, this is not the time.
Or a car.
And interest rates are going up. Just
relax. I don't get people buying cars right now. I'm like, you are paying more than sticker price.
I mean, unless you're just in a situation.
Unless you have to, and then buy used. I mean, I guess.
Well, no, used are
very expensive
even
too.
worse
I know.
Right now.
I know. It's just okay. No offense to anyone, but it just mind boggles me when I drive down the road and see someone driving a Jeep Wagoneer. I'm like, that's like a $90,000.
That's the base model.
It is
$90,000.
It's like, what?
They're beautiful, but
I know.
I'm like,
no. That car. No, cars are a bad investment. You all. You know,
I mean, I have to have one. But...
Right, but like, you don't have to have a $90,000 one.
No, never.
No. No, you drive it
I would
in
be
your...
afraid to drive it anywhere.
Yeah, well, I would... Yeah, I mean, you should be. You're a terrible driver.
I'll have to know. I've had my current vehicle for 3 years now.
I'm kidding.
And it doesn't have one ding in it.
I'm kidding. Amy rides with me in my Honda CRV that has chocolate ice cream stains on the seats. Thanks, Granny. Didn't even clean it. Rude. My hands are sweating.
I'm so
Can you
hot
open
all
that?
the time.
You want to open that?
Is it even going to make a difference?
I don't know. It is cold outside. Okay, anyway. So let's see. Blah, blah, blah. They bought this house. It just seems interesting that they bought this house and then now the seller told them that they cannot live in it for up to 1 year. Or they cannot live in it year round. Who do you think you are? Yeah. Anyway. But
well, what are they going to do if they do?
You know what I'm happy about? Zach Bagans didn't buy it.
Well, that's true.
Which I honestly thought he would.
Yeah.
You know, knowing him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie, though. So, 2 things. 1, I heard Brittany may be doing another residency in Vegas. We going.
100%.
And 2, we're going to Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum because it would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious.
It seems like a jump scare kind of place, though.
Yeah. As much as I hate to give him 50 cents of my money, I'll do it.
You know, he has Jack Kevorkian's, is that how you say that? Mm-hmm. Van. I'm like, that's not ghoulish. I mean, he like helped people who wanted to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like Ted Bundy's VW.
No.
I don't give a crap about his van. He assisted people's suicides. Like if
no, those were
they were like cancer patients.
Yeah, it was euthanasia.
Let them do. It's their own body.
Exactly.
Anyway.
When you're in a situation like that, you should have.
He went to prison though, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah. What is wrong? Can we move away to Denmark? I don't know. That just came out of nowhere.
Aren't there some countries where they like, when you're elderly and dying, they just like take you to the top of a mountain and just like leave
push
you
off?
No, they don't push you off. They just like leave you there.
I feel like that's
or is that like back in the?
I mean, I don't know. That does seem legit.
That used to happen.
Well, because this is.
Or am I confusing that with the book The Giver?
No, but that's reminding me, though, of some story we've talked about where, like, the elderly don't want to burden their children, and so they just do that. Maybe they do go themselves. I'm about to be burdening my children.
Like a Midsummer? Wasn't that kind of way?
That movie is so
it is really
bizarre, isn't it? It's fascinating, and I watched it.
Yeah.
What's so weird about that movie is that it's all so bright. You know, like, none of it's dark and creepy, and then you're like, oh, I'm looking at these horrifying images.
Have you watched Old? I think it's on HBO Max now.
Is it? No, I'm going to watch it tonight.
Okay. We went when we were in Kansas City last summer.
I got so excited.
To the movie theater.
Okay.
And I drug Mom and Keaton to it.
Oh, Lord.
Because I'm like, it's M. Night Shyamalan. You can't go wrong. And Keaton was just like, what am I watching?
Oh, well, was it very, like, nudity? Like,
no.
Midsummer is very graphic.
But it was like, I don't know. It wasn't as like gory and stuff as like Heredity per se, but you know how those kind of movies go so deep that you're supposed to like figure out the underlying themes and stuff. It was one of those.
Okay. I'll watch it.
I thought it was good.
I'll watch it tonight. Because the Circle finale, I've watched that already.
I've been, Keaton kept herself occupied day because the new season of Stranger Things.
Did it come out today?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I will probably be up all night long with her, binge watching that.
That is one of the best.
And Walmart has like, you know, at Christmas time you get the tins of popcorn. Walmart's got Stranger Things
That's
tins.
amazing.
So we have that to nosh on while we're watching. They also have Stranger Things frozen pizzas.
Well, yes.
Because I guess there's a pizza shop in the new season, like Surfer Boys or something.
Remind me I need to go to Walgreens after this, please. Help me remember that.
I will try my best.
Okay,
sorry. We got
one more thing. I do have a book. I have a book recommendation, though, from Anna. Thank you, listener Anna, listener and friend. I didn't say super fan because that's so stupid and dumb. I'm sorry. We're sorry, Sam. The book is called The Drowning Kind. You must read it.
Okay.
It's paranormal. It's true crime. It's like just creepy enough, but not so creepy that you won't be able to sleep at night. It's by Jennifer McMahon. So good. 5 stars. That is all.
I have been reading. I had to look up what the
typing.
Name of the author was.
Oh.
I've been reading The Final Girl Support Group. It is by Grady
Hendrix.
Yes, who did
I haven't read that one.
My Best Friend's Exorcism, and also the Southern Book Club's Guide to Vampire.
That's a great book too.
So I'm not too far into it yet, but it is. I'm enjoying it just like his other works.
Last podcast on the left has an interview with that author, which I feel like is really. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm like, that's interesting.
Grady Hendrix. Do you ever come to the St. Louis area? We love going to the St. Louis Public Library or Left Bank Books and
awkwardly sitting on
or
steps
random
for
hotels,
hours,
chip coffee. Like, we don't care. We will come see you.
Not to your hotel room. Is that a man or a woman?
I mean,
I don't know.
Grady sounds masculine.
That don't mean nothing.
I guess that's true. Keaton tells me all the time her name's a boy name. So.
Her name is a boy. There are no boy or girl names.
This is him.
Oh, okay. Oh, Lord. What's he look like? Oh, okay.
He kind of looks like a
dork.
Pediatric surgeon or orthopedic surgeon, I mean. Not pediatric. He does not look like Robin Williams as Patch Adams.
Oh my God. What are we talking about?
I don't know. Shall we?
Great. Who goes first? I don't have any idea. I think I might because I did Malaysia Airlines. Remember that? Remember that magical journey I took you on? Literally said nothing. Like, I didn't say anything.
You did say, like, the Maldives, I think, in that episode.
Definitely.
So I got to seek my Kanye retribution.
I did say Maldives. What is it? Now I'm...
The Maldives.
Maldives, yes. Well, once you said Maldives, I couldn't not say Maldives. Oh, lordy, lordy.
Me too. Borrow your deodorant in a minute.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. It's a tiny travel size deodorant.
Communal deodorant.
Would you like me to apply it for you?
I don't care.
I don't care.
Don't judge my stubble that I know is there.
No judgment. I'm so sweaty. Okay.
All right.
I have
this open yet.
Yeah. I have a story that was requested by one of my husband's frat brothers. Hey, Kevin Bray, do you listen to this? I didn't think you did. Maybe you don't even listen to it. So
at this point, we're taking recommendations from
non-listeners. Maybe he does. I don't know. But I'm doing The Mystery of the Somerton Man. Have you heard of this?
I don't know this.
I think you will as it comes along. Okay. So. Okay. Let's see. Where do I want to start? Well, the beginning of Wikipedia always does like a summary, and I don't really want to do that, because it's like then that just okay. Here we go. Thank you, Wikipedia. On 1 December, we're the only country, I think, in the world that doesn't do it that way. 1948 at 6:30 a.m., the police were contacted after the body of a man was discovered on Somerton Park Beach near Glenelg.
Go with it.
It's Glen, but then at the end, E-L-G. Glenelg.
It's like when you're taking a drink.
It's not great. About 7 miles southwest of Adelaide, South Australia. G'day, mate. I'm sorry, I had to. So dumb.
Maybe the dingo ate your baby.
Get into the fish on the... No,
Shrimp on the barbie, but you could have a fish as well.
I mean, do you eat fish on a barbecue grill?
That would stick.
Definitely
so
would.
Badly.
Well, I was
just fall apart.
You're like, well, dang, it went down in there with all the coals and such. Anyway, this is not a chef podcast.
Clearly.
Okay, the man was found lying in the sand across from the crippled children's home. Well, that's not politically correct at all. And what? It's just on a beach? Maybe it's across the street?
Wait, read that again.
This is when
these words aren't making sense.
I'm sorry, my hands are so sweaty. I'm literally not able to hold on to this phone. The man was found lying in the sand across from the crippled children's home. I'm going to say the children with disabilities home.
Or was he in like their sandbox?
Oh, that'd be so horrifying. They're like, Mrs. Johnston, there's a man
just laying in our sandbox.
And he's dead, so that's horrifying. The trauma. We're not making fun of trauma.
No.
Okay. What oh, sorry, I don't want to say crippled children's home anymore because that's so horrifying. No. The home for children, which was on the corner of these different streets. He was lying back with his head resting against the seawall, okay, with his legs extended and his feet crossed. So the seawall is like a thing that prevents the tide from coming up, like, I guess, further. You know, it's like a retaining wall or such.
So like a dam.
Yeah.
Or not a dam, a levee.
Yeah, I was going with it. I'm like, yeah, sure, Amy.
Wait, the dam makes the water. The levee
well, it's like a
seawall,
Amy.
Which is like a levee if you live in Missouri.
Totally.
Thank you very much.
Totally. Totally exactly like that. Okay, so they thought he had died while sleeping because he's just sitting there, you know, as if he were asleep. Just like,
yeah.
You know, good night, sir. An unlit cigarette was on the right collar of his coat. Well, that's bizarre. How is it sitting there? Just defying gravity.
Just standing straight up?
Right.
That would be really impressive.
Well, if you're just sitting up, though, how is it just... I don't know.
Maybe it's like caught on his...
What does that sound? Well, maybe the fabric of his coat is...
Maybe it was polyester.
Yeah, it's like, you know, hard to roll down.
It's like when you rub a balloon on your stuff and it just sticks.
Yeah, it's exactly. He's just rubbing his cigarette. He just has cigarettes all over him, and so he doesn't have any pockets. So he needed a way to take his cigarettes places.
He figured it out.
He did. A search of his pockets revealed an unused second-class railroad ticket from Adelaide to Henley Beach, a bus ticket from the city that may not have been used, a narrow aluminum comb that had been manufactured in the USA, a half-empty packet of juicy fruit chewing gum, the worst kind of gum. I mean, honestly, it tastes delicious for that 1 second.
Yeah, that and zebra stripes.
Yeah.
Just for why?
Yeah, literally 1 second. An Army Club cigarette packet, which contained 7 cigarettes of a different brand, and some matches. Okay, so that's what's in his pockets. Witnesses who came forward said that on the evening of 30 November, they had seen an individual resembling the dead man lying on his back in the same spot. A couple who saw him at around 7 p.m. noted that they saw him extend his right arm to its fullest extent and then drop it limply. Oh, he's weird.
Well, maybe he was doing like a dance move.
Yeah, or he's like, it almost makes it seem like he's paralyzed, like someone gave him poison or something. He's like, I can't, I just need to take this cigarette. He just really needs to smoke. Another couple who saw him from 7:30 to 8. What, are they just watching him for that 30?
Did anyone go and be like, sir,
Are you
need
okay?
some help? Can I light your cigarette for you?
I just saw on Reddit this people were like, I was driving down the road and saw on the side of the road this body. And so I stopped because it's a man lying there. And this person, like the motorist, went up to the guy and was like, hey, are you okay? And he's like, hey, can you take me to Tahoe? I don't know. I just made up a place. And the guy's like, no, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I just pretend to be dead because it gets more people to come over and talk to me. I'm like, what?
No.
All new. I mean,
come up with a better plan. That's rude.
Yeah, that is rude. Okay, the couple who saw him from 7:30 to 8, during which time the streetlights had come on, recounted that they did not see him move during the half hour in which he was in view, probably because he's dead. Although they commented between themselves, that's pretty odd that he's not reacting to the mosquitoes. I mean, yeah. Okay, so I almost said Alaska. Australia has my mouth's not working. Australia has mosquitoes too.
They're probably really big. I imagine.
Oh yeah, they had thought it was more likely that he was drunk or asleep, and thus did not investigate further. When is this? The 40s?
Still, even if he's drunk, he doesn't
check on him.
Stop letting him get eaten up by mosquitoes. That's
go put some netting over him.
Due diligence.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it you can get from that? Zika.
Yeah. That stuff is no joke.
No. Or was that a thing back then? Probably not.
Who knows? Okay, let's see here.
Yellow fever was, though.
Oh,
and that was from mosquitoes.
There you go.
We know stuff.
We know mosquito-borne illnesses. Another witness came forward in 1959, so like 10 years later, and reported to the police that he and 3 others had seen a well-dressed man carrying another man on his shoulders among Somerton Park Beach. The night...
Like sitting on his shoulders like you do a little kid?
I hope so. It had to be like a Jamie-sized person.
Get on up here.
Come on, Jamie. Get up here. Come on. Let me get you a little step stool. Actually, a big one. That's a little one.
Little one's not going to do it. The little one's just running on your miniature pony.
What I would give to see Jamie on a miniature pony. I pull up today to pick you up and he's just double flipping me off. I'm like, I hate you, Jamie. Oh, Jamie.
Acting like he's doing anything because he took the trash out. But I had just walked all the way down the end of the driveway and got the trash toter because he said he would do it earlier.
Trash toter?
The thing that totes the trash.
I've never heard someone call it that. Oh. Is it called that?
I don't know.
Maybe
it totes it.
We just call it garbage can. Who knows? What do you call it? We don't know.
The dustbin?
The dustbin? Little Jamie. Okay, on his shoulders. Either that or it's like long ways across the shoulders. Is that a thing? Is that a thing?
Like draped? Like a scarf?
Yeah. Like draped.
I mean, I don't know how
your
body could bend that
I don't know
way.
how you'd get them up there. Imagine seeing a grown man on another grown man's shoulders. It's like any chicken
holding onto his head. Like
he played chicken in
the pool. Except they're on land.
I've never played chicken in the pool. It seems dumb. I'm like, am I supposed to scratch somebody's face off?
I don't know if I have or not. It sounds like something stupid I do.
So funny. Okay. Moving along. A police report was made by Detective Don O'Doherty. According to the pathologist, John Burton Cleland, I don't know what a pathologist is, do you?
Pathologist?
Yeah. What's their job?
Don't they, like, does that have to do with blood?
We're going to go with them.
No, that's a phlebotomist.
Maybe it'll come up
Pathology, though, you get, like, your pathology report back. Isn't that, like, your blood work?
Look up. Hold on. A scientist who studies the causes and effects of diseases, especially one who examines laboratory samples of body tissue for diagnostic or forensic purposes. Thank you, John Burton Cleland, for your services. According to John, the man was of Britisher appearance. What?
And he was more British than normal. He was Britisher.
Super British. What does that mean? You know? He was wearing a top hat. I don't know. I can't.
And a monocle.
What else is super British?
I don't think that's
a long tweed coat.
We're just describing the Monopoly guy.
We are. Is he British?
I don't know.
He is in my mind.
Park Place. I think that's
what?
Monopoly.
Parker. What's the people who make Monopoly? Why am I talking?
Parker Brothers.
Yes. Were they British? Anyway.
No.
Who cares?
No one. Literally no one.
Okay, so this Britisher man was thought to be between the ages of 40 to 45. That's very specific, and was in top physical condition.
Hey.
What? A pathologist would not say that about me.
No.
They're like, her cholesterol was off the charts.
I don't even need to do the pathology on this one.
I'm just looking at
her 6 stomachs. I'm talking about myself, by the way, not you.
And she's not a cow, which does have multiple stomachs.
Not of the bovine species, yet.
Might as well be. Moo.
Has these udders.
I have the nipples of a cow, probably. I don't know if cows even have nipples.
Where do you milk them from? Udders. Those are udders. How embarrassing if they put in your autopsy report udders instead.
They're like extreme nipples. Nippler. You're like Britisher. Okay. I'm now explaining my own jokes. My hands are on fire.
Pitch perfect.
Okay, here we go.
I'm so hot.
Yeah,
I'm dying.
we can't turn on this fan
I
though.
know
Chris will yell at us so much.
Chris, can you get us in?
You know what's funny is that whole episode I didn't even notice that sound. Did you?
No.
It's because of our amateur ears.
I guess.
Moving along. Chris doesn't listen to this, so we can tease him. All right, so this man was 5 feet 11 inches tall, with gray eyes and ginger hair. How do you have gray eyes? It's bizarre to me, you know? I've never met anyone with gray eyes.
I guess it's probably like a shade of blue.
Shade of blue, yeah. Lightly gray around the temples, broad shoulders and narrow waist. Ooh. Hands and nails that showed no signs of manual labor. Big and little toes that met in a wedge shape. Is that your feet?
Big and little. No, mine are just big. Long. They're not even big.
Amy
they're
has
long.
lovely feet. She's just really self-conscious, which is why I have to.
Do you think I have abnormally long fingers too?
No.
I think they look when I
don't.
I always feel like they look like when I'm in pictures, like with my hand on someone's shoulder. I feel like it looks
I
like
honestly see people
alien.
like your hands, and I'm very jealous because I have like chubby fat fingers. So I wish I had alien fingers.
But my
Let's
toes
trade.
look exactly like my fingers.
Well, so do my toes. Like tiny sausages, like those little sausages.
Vienna sausages.
No, well that or the ones you
little
put
smokies.
in. Yes,
I love little smokies.
Well, don't eat my toes.
Wrapped in bacon.
She just looks at my toes and it makes her stomach get hungry.
If anyone walks in, I'm like sucking your toes. Mind your own business.
Too far. She's like, man, do you have any barbecue sauce?
You sweet baby Ray's.
Oh, God. Foot fetish is weird, man. I mean, do you, but weird. Okay. So I don't understand his... So big and little toes that met in a wedge shape like those of a dancer or someone who wore boots with pointed toes. Oh, my gosh. Your toes are like...
Conforming to the... Well, like people can get like, what's it called? Hammer toe?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
How does that happen?
I think it's because I remember like they used to always back in the day post pictures of Katie Holmes' feet on tabloids because she had hammer toe, but it was from wearing like the pointed toe shoes.
How rude,
yeah,
honestly.
So, well, it's when she was married to Tom Cruise. They were just anything
grasping
for a
at
story.
straws. And then he had pronounced calf muscles.
Man,
dead even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess some people don't have to flex to have muscles. I don't know.
I don't even have them when I flex.
I know. If I wanted to show any sort of a calf muscle, I'd have to like put my leg out, really concentrate, and still probably nothing. So of someone who consistently wore boots or performed ballet. Oh, is he a ballerino? Is that right?
I don't know what I mean.
Ballerino instead
of... Is that it? Are you making that up?
I mean, maybe. He was dressed in a white...
dancer.
He's just a dancer. A white shirt, a red, white, and blue tie. Very patriotic for I don't know where he lives.
In America.
No. Brown trousers, socks and shoes, a brown knitted pullover, a fashionable gray and brown double-breasted jacket of reportedly quote-unquote American tailoring. All labels of his clothes had been removed. Weird. He had no hat, which was very unusual for 1948, or a wallet. He was clean-shaven, carried no identification, which led police to believe he had committed suicide. His dental records did not match any known person. So they did an autopsy, and the pathologist says that he had a normal heart, There was congestion of some things, parts of your body that I don't even know, larynx. The stomach was deeply congested. What do these things mean? Like lots of blood inside his body, it seems like.
So like stuff like your larynx is like through here. So I'd say like stuff just like probably like internal bleeding, and then it just starts to like build up.
So the autopsy also showed that the man's last meal was a pasty. Do you mean pastry? Excuse me. Do you mean pastry? Wikipedia.
What a terrible way to go. I was at the club.
Well, they're saying
a pasty.
They're saying a pasty is a British pastry.
Oh. Well, then why are pasties dumb. What they are here?
Why are pasties nipple covered? Yes. It's a very nipple heavy episode.
It really is.
That's very interesting. But tests failed to reveal any foreign substance. So the pathologist said that he's quite convinced the death could not have been natural. The poison that he thinks he was poisoned with some sort of barbiturate or hypnotic. Is that an alcohol? I don't think it's that. No. Hypnotic is really, that's like what P. Diddy used to drink in the 2000s, the early aughts. I don't know. By the way,
no, he did not.
P. Diddy, back me up, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. That's when he was dating J-Lo. He was not drinking it.
Yeah, he really was out of his league there. Okay, great. The pasty was not the source of the poison. Although, don't eat a pasty.
No.
Or lick one or anything like that.
No.
You don't know where it's been.
Don't touch them. They are not there to be touched.
Don't touch
Period. They're there for you to watch.
No touching.
I'm like, next thing you know, I'm a bouncer at a dance club.
That tracks.
Yeah. Nobody touched the dancers.
It's just you two, and you're like tiny. Amy's a tiny person. Oh, this is great. Okay, so they embalmed the guy's body. The end. Discovery of the suitcase. What? On 14 January 1949, staff of the Adelaide Railroad Station discovered a brown suitcase with its label removed, which had been checked into the station cloakroom after 11 a.m. on 30 November 1948. It was believed that the suitcase was owned by the man found on the beach. In the case were a red checked dressing gown. Is that a robe?
Yeah.
Okay. A size 7 felt red pair of slippers. Oh.
Fancy.
I mean,
Was he Hugh Hefner?
No, he's like matching red. I got my red dressing gown and my red felt slipper. Felt is the worst fabric, isn't it?
It really is.
Ugh. I also hate velvet, though, but felt is way worse.
Yeah, felt is
not
easy to work with.
No. 4 pairs of underpants, pajamas with a Y, shaving items, a light brown pair of trousers with sand in the cuffs. Interesting. An electrician's screwdriver. No idea what that is. A table knife cut down into a short, sharp instrument. A shiv?
A knife?
Oh.
Just a knife.
Also a knife. But a short one, Amy.
Yes, but shivs aren't made from knives.
Right. They're
made from whatever
they got.
Thing they can get their hands on.
You ever watch any of those, oh crap, what's the one on Netflix? Jailbirds? Is that what it is? Where they're literally talking to each other through the toilets?
Yes, it's so good.
Oh, and then they
and acne. Your new boyfriend or girlfriend is just whomever is at the toilet right below you.
Yes.
Like, sorry.
I know. And then they talk about how they get acne so bad because they...
Yeah, that's...
Or their breath starts to smell. Don't go to jail, people.
Or just be single.
I mean, whoever's at the other end of that is not hot. Just let it go. And then you meet him, you're like,
oh. Over there talking to my toilet boyfriend.
Yeah. He has tons of face tattoos.
Good thing. It covers the toilet
acne.
Fecal acne.
Ew, fecal acne.
We also call that facne. These jokes are so lame. I am so tired, and I am so hot.
You're
right
doing
now.
great, Amy. You're doing great. Okay. Also in the suitcase was a thread card. What does that mean?
Is it like one of those little cards you thread? And make
I think so.
Like a little sun.
Some sort of orange waxed thread of an unusual type that was not available in Australia. What? That's bizarre.
Okay, that's not a thread.
It was the same that would have been used to repair the kind of pants he had on.
Okay, so it's like a sewing kit.
Yeah, but a thread card. Okay. Bizarre. All identification marks on the cloth had been removed, but police found the name T. Keene on a tie, Keene on a laundry bag, and Keene on a singlet. What is a singlet? I'm so dumb.
No, I don't know what that is.
It's a undershirt, basically. Why not call it that? Nobody knows. Police believe that whoever took the clothing tags either overlooked these 3 items or purposely left the Keene tags on the clothes, knowing Keene was not the dead man's name. Oh. Who are you, sir?
Red herring.
With wartime rationing still in force, clothing was difficult to acquire at the time. And although it was very common practice to use name tags, it was also common when buying secondhand clothing to remove the tags of the previous owners. What was unusual was that there were no spare socks found in the case and no correspondence, although the police found pencils and unused stationery. A search concluded that no T. Keene was missing in any English-speaking country. I mean, how good was missing people's stuff in 1948? I don't know.
Where are you getting there's no database
NamUs?
to look
No.
this up.
A nationwide circulation of the dry cleaning marks, also proved fruitless. All that could be garnered from the suitcase was that the front gusset and feather stitching on a coat. Okay, moving on. Who knows? I don't know what those words mean. So police checked incoming train records and believed that the man had arrived at the Adelaide Railroad Station by overnight train from either Melbourne, Sydney, or Port Augusta. They speculated he had showered and shaved at the adjacent city baths. Ugh. Is that a public bath situation? Yeah, it must be.
Probably.
Yikes. Okay, before going back to there.
Hope you wore your shower shoes.
Yeah.
Athletes, if it's real.
Yep. So they did some inquests into his death to figure out who he was. A coroner did that, which was great. They noted that his shoes were very clean. They had been recently polished. Rather than the condition expected of a man who'd been wandering around this town and beach all day. They were just like super clean. He added that this evidence fit in with the theory that the body may have been brought to the park after his death, accounting for the lack of evidence of vomiting and convulsions, which are 2 main physiological reactions to poison. Interesting. So yeah, they think he was dumped, which is sad. And they talk about the types of drugs that were in his body, which have lots of barbiturate type of words that I don't understand. Moving on. Oh, they made a plaster cast of his head and shoulders. That's horrifying.
So a bust. Right?
And here it is in Chris's prayer closet. Yeah, that is a bust. How awkward.
Yeah.
Who's the plasterer of that? They're like putting plaster of Paris on this dead guy's face.
Mod Podge.
Yeah, weird.
What a terrible job.
Okay, so now here's a connection to something else that's very interesting. So around the same time as the inquest, a tiny piece of rolled up paper with the words, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Tamam Shud, printed on it was found in a fob pocket sewn within the dead man's trouser pocket. So like a secret pocket was this piece of paper. Public library officials called in to translate the text, identified it as a phrase meaning ended or finished, which is found in this book. What is this book? Of this Persian book. The paper's verso side, or right. Why don't they just say
that?
Come on, Wikipedia was blank. Police conducted an Australia-wide search to find a copy of that book, and they couldn't find any. Oh, wait. No, they did. Psych, they did. The copy of that book that I can't pronounce the words are, because none of them are words that I can understand. They found it, and they found the one that had been torn. So a man showed police a 1941 edition of that book that was published in Christchurch, New Zealand. And the guy who led the investigation this other guy has like a pseudonym. There's just so much information in here about this. The guy who found the book has a pseudonym and he never wanted to be identified, which is kind of odd. Let's see here. Moving along away from the book. That's fascinating. Moving on to Jessica Thompson. A phone number also found in the back of that book that we were just talking about belonged to a nurse named Jessica Ellen Joe Thompson. Why do you have so many names?
And do you really need to include her full name in this Wikipedia? Wow.
So there's so many pages of this.
So that was it? Like, just,
well, I mean, there's
Jessica's
more, but it's
phone number. It led to nothing, though, I guess.
86. It's just Jessica's like, keep me out of this, you guys. Okay, so she was interviewed by police, and Thompson said that she did not know the dead man or why he would have her phone number and choose to visit her suburb on the night of his death. So I guess she lived close to that, crippled children's house. So jacked up. So she did report that at some time in late 1948, an unidentified man had attempted to visit her and asked a next door neighbor about her. Ugh.
Ew.
In his book on the case, Jerry Feltus stated that when he interviewed Thompson in 2002, he found that she was either being evasive or she just did not wish to talk about it. Well, maybe she's sick of talking about it. He believes, this author believed, that Jessica Thompson knew the Somerton man's identity.
And that's a pretty big allegation to just be throwing out there. Or can we just take her word?
Right. In 1949, Jessica Thompson requested that police not keep a permanent record of her name or release her details to third parties, as it would be embarrassing and harmful to her reputation.
And yet here she is, her full name all over Wikipedia.
And her daughter went on channel...
She had reason to be...
Right. Her daughter went on 60 Minutes in 2014 about it. So,
she's like, everything I've asked, you people have done.
Jessica's dead by then, but, still rude. So they actually did give her pseudonyms for a while, which is really nice. So she was shown the plaster bust and said that she didn't know who he was. She's like, just leave me alone. I don't know who this man is. According to one of the detectives, though, he described her reaction upon seeing the bust as completely taken aback to the point of giving the appearance that she was about to faint. Are you lying, Jessica? Girl, you lying?
Or maybe she's like, wow, they put this on a dead person. And now they're
like, that's a really
their...
bad cast. Yep. Interesting. Mm-hmm. She looked at it, but wouldn't. She looked away and would not look back at it. Mm-hmm. What are you doing there? Thompson also said that while she was working at this hospital in Sydney during World War II, she owned a copy of that book that I referred to earlier that I can't pronounce. So very interesting. Just weird ties to everything, Moving along. So the media freaked out about it. Let's get to some theories, though. So there's the obvious theory is that the Somerton man, is a spy. This really has nothing to do with the paranormal. It's just a mystery, okay? Get over it. God. There had been persistent speculation that the dead man was a spy due to the circumstances and historical context to his death. At least 2 sites relatively close to Adelaide were of interest to spies. A uranium mine and some test range, a military facility. Ooh, okay. The Australian Security Intelligence Organization, the ASIO. They're like their CIA.
ASIO. Put a C in front of that and you've got a keyboard. Bossa Nova.
Wow. I bet he played the keyboard.
I bet he did.
Yeah. Well, basically they were trying to take down the Soviets. They're like, this guy, take it down. Let's go to exhumation. I just went to that bullet here.
Okay.
In 2011, they exhumed him, which is great. Cool. And they extracted DNA for analysis and a potential granddaughter's DNA. How do they know that? So they exhumed him.
23andMe.
Yeah. They exhumed him on May 19th, 2021. And
again?
No, this is the first one.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
It just, they had, red tape. So by 2021, they could finally do it. So it says the remains were deeper in the ground than they thought. But I thought he was cremated. Can you give him DNA from cremations? Cremains?
No. Right?
Maybe I read that wrong.
I don't recall you saying he was cremated.
Yeah, maybe I made that up. So they exhumed him, and then it really doesn't say what they did.
Well,
Oh, they intended to take DNA if possible, but then they don't say if they did or not. Rude. Oh, gosh, here's this kid. Amy also looked at it with a look of horror, and now...
Why does he have such point? Look how pointed his ears are.
He's clearly an alien. It's a Men in Black, yo.
Or an elf.
An elfin man.
Okay.
Ew. Great. Yeah, his ears are not
Please
even normal.
Please don't take a bust of me.
His also mouth is too big. It's one of those Men in Black mouths. Like you did lips wrong. Yeah. It's like really wide or like too far. It's jokery.
It's really weird.
That's creepy. Okay. So, just seeing if there's anything else I want to say here. There's so much information on this. I mean, I would be talking about this for like days. So, it appears to me that they still don't really know who he is. There are a couple things that they think he could. This Tasmanian man, Horace, maybe it's him. The end.
Okay, thank you. That was...
Oh, God, it was Malaysia Airlines all over.
It kind of was.
You guys, I've been really busy.
We've had a lot going on. Okay?
And I'm now going through the timeline.
Okay. I don't even know what my topic is.
Sorry, you all.
Oops, I'm hitting the microphone with my laptop.
Oh, there's some other similar cases. Just go on the Wikipedia page, you all.
Yeah.
Read through it. You try to make sense of it. There are so many words that are not, Anyway, the end.
Well, this probably isn't going to be any better because I'm also starting out with Wikipedia. But I do have other sources.
I should have pulled something else up.
I don't know what this is about. Whatever. I hope I haven't done this. I don't think I have.
Oh, good God.
The Henry Weber House.
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
All right. So Pioneer Park, also known as the Henry Weber House or the Weber Papke House. What? Paepcke.
What country is this in?
The United States.
Oh.
Is located on West Bleecker Street in Aspen, Colorado.
Ooh.
It is a brick structure erected in the 1880s, one of the few such homes in the city. In 1987, it was listed... Well, okay. No one cares. So Henry Weber was the person who built the house. He was a shoe merchant who grew wealthy from his mining investments during Aspen's original growth during the Colorado silver boom.
Ooh.
The house is said to be haunted by the ghost of his wife, Harriet, who died under controversial circumstances.
Oh.
It is the only intact house in the Second Empire architectural style in the entire city. And they note particularly the interior.
Oh.
So don't go in and like rip out really cool historical stuff, peeps.
No, don't do that.
What are you doing?
So I'm just like investigating how this thing is on your computer. Go on.
It's just a case.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's very lovely.
I have to keep lots of like a case on here because if I break this, I can't afford to replace a MacBook Air.
Thousands of dollars laying around.
At one time, it was owned by Walter Papke, the Chicago businessman who led Aspen's mid-20th century renaissance as a ski resort town.
Oh.
While Papke owned the house, he invited... that's an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
They invited Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Albert Schweitzer to Aspen to give the keynote speech.
Same thing.
At a festival he organized.
Whoever
blah,
that is.
Blah, blah.
Adam
No
Schweitzer?
No one cares about the exterior or the interior. All right, the history. Henry Weber arrived in Aspen with his wife Harriet from the East in 1880. She was one of 13 women who spent that winter in what was still a mining camp.
Oh, no.
What a terrible winter.
No man's worth that.
No. At that time, it was beginning to transform from a small collection of log cabins into a more permanent settlement due to the many loads of silver being mined from the surrounding mountains. The couple started a business selling and repairing shoes and clothing.
Oh.
They also began investing in local mines. Both of the businesses succeeded, making them wealthy, but Harriet was unable to enjoy it. In 1881, she died of an overdose of strychnine, then available over the counter as a tranquilizer. That's crazy.
What?
Excuse me.
Why would you want to tranquilize
Mrs.
yourself?
Olson, can I have some strychnine, please?
Why would you want to tranquilize yourself? For sleep?
Because you're living in a mining town in the winter.
That's true.
I'd be like, just give me something that'll make me sleep till spring. Her last words were, "Henry will know." And that led to rumors that her death was either a suicide or murder brought on by a rumored extramarital affair between him and her niece. In the end, it was ruled accidental. Of course it was. Because he was a man.
It's a lie.
Weber became city treasurer in 1883. Harriet's ghost is said to haunt the house that he built 2 years later. Aspen's newly successful... the newly successful people of Aspen. That's what Aspen's newly successful are. We're building homes in a variety of Victorian styles in the city's West End. Weber, who had also built downtown Aspen's Elks Building, used the Second Empire mode for his house. Not a common choice at the time.
What does that even mean?
It's just whatever the architectural style is. Like, way to be different, Henry.
Henry will know.
Blah, blah, blah. Later, he served a term as mayor of Aspen, elected despite revelations that he had abandoned a wife and family prior to marrying Harriet. Scandalous.
Well, that's rude.
Shortly after that time, the Sherman Silver Purchase Act was repealed and the city's economy began to contract. The decades afterward, its population declined from over 10,000 to 500 by 1930. And are called the quiet years. That's one way of putting it.
The quiet years.
Many of the buildings and houses from the boom were abandoned and succumbed to fire and or the effects of severe winters in the Rocky Mountains. The Pioneer Park House survived because after Weber's death in 1911, it became the home of the Practice, local blacksmiths.
Oh, the practice?
I don't know. And then Walter Kikika, whatever his name is, purchased it, blah, blah, blah. Papke painted the house pink while he owned it.
Oh.
Since then, it has been painted light tan. Okay, anyways, let's move on to CanaryGhost.com. That's what you're here for.
CanaryGhost.com.
We already know the history of the house. Kind of.
We know about it was pink. And then light tan.
So Harriet died in 1881, and while it was known what killed her, there was still some speculation as to how it happened. So we knew that the strychnine killed her. The drugs she was on was commonly taken at the time for stress relief, and the pill bottle was found by her dead body. What made the case confusing was her saying, "Henry will know," as her last words.
Strychnine was taken for stress relief?
Yeah, that seems a bit.
Relieve you of everything.
To add to Weber's possible guilt in the death of his wife, he was, in fact, having an affair with his wife's niece, Julia.
Ew!
Shortly after Harriet died, the philandering widower married the niece.
Ew!
The rumors about Harriet's death dissipated quickly, and Henry became city treasurer, then the mayor. Harriet's death wouldn't keep him from moving up in the world. Even a rumor about Weber abandoned... Oh, we already said that. Those speculations alone are enough to give Harriet every reason to hang around the home she died in. Her ghost may be looking to tell someone what actually happened to her, whether her own extreme melancholy drove her to overdose, or if someone else fed her the pills, be it her husband or her niece, hoping to have him all to herself.
Ew.
Weber used some of the money he'd made to work on building Pioneer Park with his new wife, the niece.
Ew.
It was an extension of the house, which now runs as a public park where people can visit and enjoy a picnic sitting in the gazebo. Lovely.
Weird.
The thing is, while all was quiet when the couple started construction, they soon started having a paranormal guest visiting them. One that would make it difficult for Weber to enjoy his successes. It seemed Harriet had, in fact, returned home.
Ooh, she mad.
And she was no longer resting peacefully.
And she mad.
Perhaps she was jealous that her niece was helping with the expansion of her home and property, something she wished she could be there to experience, and was, in a way.
And really, do ghosts get jealous?
Yeah. Vengeful, maybe.
Maybe.
It's possible in her abrupt death, Harriet the ghost didn't even realize she was dead, and all the noises she makes are just her going about her daily routine. Oh. The couple experienced all sorts
making coffee.
Yes. Henry! Here are your slippers.
Here's your pasty.
Yeah. Well, this is in Aspen.
Yeah, it's still,
we don't have pasties.
Let's just imagine that.
Here's your Pop-Tart.
Here's your Pop-Tart. It's our janky version.
Yes. Footsteps were regularly heard throughout the home when they were there alone. They even heard them on the rooftop when no one should be up there. Even eerier than that, they would see and hear doors and windows in the home opening on their own before slamming shut. Yeah, Harriet's ticked.
Well, in windows, that's, doors you can kind of explain away.
Yeah.
Window?
Yeah, that takes some
force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had all the usual bumps in the night, keeping them awake and worrying about what or who was in there with them. Not all of the spooky happenings around the house were vocal. Loud noises and slamming doors aren't the only signs of a haunting. The couple reported overwhelming feelings of sadness in certain areas of the home. Perhaps this was Harriet's preference over causing cold spots. Forget cold spots. I'm just going to make you super sad.
Aw.
Yeah. And the deep sadness seemed to seep into Julia's soul.
Well, you should
feel that, Julia.
What a crappy move.
Yes. There were reports that Julia became very depressed while living in their Aspen home with the ghost of her aunt haunting them. Yeah, probably.
Her aunt's just like, it's me. Still here.
It could also be said that her depression stemmed from the inability to provide Weber with an heir. Maybe Weber's the problem.
Exactly.
Julia was often seen sitting at an upper window in the home, staring out at nothing for hours. This commonly witnessed action led the people of the town to begin starting rumors about the distraught woman talking to herself and going insane.
You all need a hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
God.
Not all women, or any women, are hysterical just because they're women.
I thought you were going to say, want to have children.
Or that.
Right.
And that's okay.
Right.
Perhaps she was speaking to Harriet's ghost. Oh. And that was the cause of her depression and madness. Once upon a time, a cemetery stood where Pioneer Park sits right now.
Where'd those bodies go?
Yeah, some people in Aspen believe the removal of the cemetery woke up spirits or let out some bad energy that haunts the space now.
Yeah.
Including the Weber house. The cemetery wasn't moved in order to build the home, but rather because it had already fallen into disrepair. No matter, disturbing graves has a way of causing paranormal events. Yeah, it does. Even if it's done for the good of the cemetery. Perhaps some of the bodies were left behind in the move because of missing gravestones, though that's not always the case. So Weber passed away in 1911, but the house wouldn't sit empty. A blacksmith bought it, and his family all experienced the same spooky things that Weber did. Another family moved in 1944 to just as much paranormal activity. Then we get Walter Pappy Beaky Boo. Then he is notable for founding the... who cares?
He founded something.
It's likely that he also experienced ghostly events in the home while he lived there as well. The carriage house on the property was a momentary home for Albert Schweitzer. Are we supposed to know who this is?
Maybe other people do in the world. Not us.
The Weber Papke house was a lucky abode, never really risking getting torn down, even in its old age. So that's why it was added to the National Register of Historic Places, because there really aren't many houses of that time left. Now let's hop down to Aspen Times.
Oh, Aspen Times.
I don't know if there's anything new on here or not. Let me see.
Looking at Amy's stickers on her computer, it's very fun.
It says,
Michael Myers.
Believe the stories or don't believe them.
Okay, gosh, those are the two options.
There are ample tales of ghosts that haunt some of Aspen's buildings, playing tricks on unsuspecting workers and others, or simply appearing and disappearing. Well, that's kind of what ghosts do.
You just explained ghosts to us.
Perhaps the most widespread stories involve the 123-year-old Hotel Jerome. Wait, is this the same place?
That's a funny name for a hotel. I love it.
I don't know. I'm going with it.
I love it.
Allegedly, in 1936, a 10-year-old boy belonging to a family staying in room 310 drowned in the hotel swimming pool. To this day, some employees, guests, and others say they've encountered him on the third floor, wet and draped in a towel, appearing to be looking for his room or his parents. Isn't that the worst when you get out of the pool, the hotel, and you're freezing and you can't find your room?
Any hotel or any pool, like that moment. No. Hotel pools also. Ooh.
Yeah, gross. But I mean,
Yeah.
when you have children like, I'm so bored, it's like, fine, we'll go to the pool.
Yeah, for sure.
Another involves a beautiful woman named Katie Kerrigan, who is a 16-year-old, or as a 16-year-old, was working as a maid at the hotel in 1892. Many well-heeled guests took notice of her good looks, which supposedly made her coworkers so jealous they played pranks on her.
What?
What?
Can we be nice to each
Rude.
other? Women lift other women up. How about that?
One night, another maid told her a malicious lie
So intense.
that her pet kitten had fallen through the ice of a nearby pond.
What?
Kerrigan went to save the cat and fell through the ice herself. What?
Oh my God.
Why would the kitten be out on the ice?
That's a very specific
yes.
trick.
Though she was rescued, she'd later succumbed to pneumonia. Over the years, workers have reported her presence remains in the hotel. Beds have been made before any workers arrived in the room to deal with them.
Well, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In other cases, rooms logged as straight and clean have been found in a minor state of mess upon the arrival of guests for no apparent reason. I don't know that this has anything to do with the Henry Weber house.
I know. I was like, why are we at a hotel now?
I guess just because it's in Aspen? I don't know. Or was it turned into a hotel?
We're going to go with that.
Okay. Those stories are a part of Aspen and Hotel Jerome folklore, but the tales don't end there. A former employee of Hunter Bar... Yeah, we're just hopping around Aspen.
We're just in Aspen now.
The former night spot of the subgrade space of the Bidwell building.
I don't know what any of that means.
Me neither. Told the Aspen Times of a ghostly presence in the kitchen. The spooky vision was an older man, and he would only appear at night after all the patrons were gone. And the employees were preparing to lock up. He never spoke and would only show up for an instant. As soon as the employee would notice and attempt to investigate, he was gone. Dean Weller, we don't care about Dean Weller, what he has to say. Although he does say...
we don't give a crap, but now we do.
There are some I don't really tell on my tour. I need to research a little more. A lot of the bars are haunted. 2 o'clock in the morning is a good time to see some spirits.
2 o'clock, huh?
He's heard some strange tales involving the Regal, a dance club in the basement of the Elks building. What?
The Elks building? It's all elderly people? Wow.
Employees have noted some strange occurrences. Another story involves the elevator of that same building. People have been getting into it, but when the door opens on another floor, no one's there. Weiler spoke of other ghostly hotspots, such as Pioneer Park. Okay, the Henry Weber house, so that's how ties into this.
We're back.
I'm moving away from it.
We're moving away.
He mentioned he's researching another story involving the Jerome.
Who's
and the
researching?
Floor,
This
guy.
Oh, okay. The author of the website?
I think the guy who does the ghost tours.
Oh, okay.
First floor library section. He does it all.
We need to do a haunted tour of Troy, Missouri. How funny would that be? We're just like walking around.
Be real short.
Well, you think?
I don't know.
Downtown Troy is, old.
I mean, like trying to collect stories though to fill the time.
We just start going door to door down there. They're like,
we seeing any ghosts?
hello, roasted bean.
Yes. The Jerome has a lot of stuff going on. The 3rd floor freaks people out. Most of the stories seem harmless enough. But he spoke of a former employee who thinks a malevolent ghost might inhabit the building.
Ooh.
The Red Onion is haunted by the spirit of a girl. Oh, I guess it was a saloon that was built in 1892.
Called the Red Onion?
The Red Onion. So it's haunted by the spirit of a girl as well as a man who was murdered in the kitchen in the mid-1970s.
Yikes.
A worker who cleans the restaurant in the mornings won't work alone. In one event, she claimed that she set aside some black and white coloring book pages, which are often given to children and customers on the bar. She left the room briefly, and upon returning, a page had been colored, although no one else was in the building.
Weird.
Ooh, creepy. So anyways, if you're ever in Aspen,
check out those places.
Go to the Red Onion.
Go to the Red Onion.
Have a red bloomin' onion. I don't know. Do whatever you want.
Red Onion.
Okay, wrapping it up. That was...
We're tired.
We were ill-prepared.
We're sorry.
We probably would have thrown another oldie but a goodie out this week if we had any left. We're done. We have depleted our stash, so we have no choice but to keep recording.
It's 5:30 and I'm yawning.
Yeah, check us out on our socials.
Go buy some merch. Go to our website. on thehauntpodcast.com. We
Throw
love
us a
you.
bone.
Throw us a
so-
bone.
we're
Send us a
tired.
message. Oh, join our Facebook discussion group.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't been on there in a
I haven't
minute.
been on there lately, but I'll get better at it
Yes.
now.
Yes. It's
now
summer.
things are calming
Yeah,
down.
Miranda just posted something that we need to go look at. Thank you, Miranda.
Yeah, we love
Okay.
you. Bye.